It feels like a do or die moment. I've already done this too many times to even be too worried about it. Don't worry about nothing else and start boxing.
Ready? Here we go.
Just on the ground, you got clowns out here asking me what my intentions are today. Bro, I'm trying to train. I'm locked in.
For this camp, we've been keeping it pretty with the same kind of pattern. You know, we wake up around 8:30, and then head to the, strength and conditioning gym. We lift weights, we do, conditioning drills, sprints, all that stuff. Then we take a minor, 10-minute break, and then we head to, boxing.
Last year was brutal because of the suspension he had, of the mental breakdown that he might have, had caused because of that, knowing that he was innocent. But we were there for him, as parents, as father. I stayed with him and I told him, well, I'm here if you need me. But he went through a lot. So going into that fight with Rolando Romero, he wasn't like this.
Treating my body like a temple, what you put in is just as important. I was just so used to just being like a superhuman almost and just never getting affected by anything I put in my body.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Forward. Let's go. Push it.
I feel like I've definitely been underestimated in my career.
Get stronger as you finish. Nice work. Come on, Mario. Let's attack it.
That's not something that has bothered me much.
Maybe glory in this task, but there's no shortage of risk.
Why am I doing this? Why didn't I stay in school? Days and workouts like that, they push you to a mental where you really have to question, like, why am I doing this? For me, I have a couple of reasons. For myself, been in boxing since I was 6. I have love for this game.
Not this time. It's Al Azteca time.
Former Trainer of the Year Bob Santos feels there's a real sense of momentum in Barrios' camp. Barrios is focused on turning experience into evolution. He's known for delivering action-packed fights.
It's about to be it's gonna be bad because I know all that. I know what he's training like. I know everything. They could say, like, oh, he knows, but he didn't train with me long enough. I know, been knowing Joe since I was 17. I know exactly, and I haven't trained with him. I just watched him, so I know exactly how he trains his fighter, exactly what they're doing.
With the bout drawing closer, Ryan Garcia and Mario Barrios have locked in completely. Their preparation has intensified, with every session centered on sharp focus, strict discipline, and a clear goal, stepping into the ring ready to perform at the highest level when fight night arrives. Inside the gym, Ryan Garcia works through drills designed to refine his rhythm and quickness, spending time on the reflex bag under the guidance of Coach Eddie Rioso. During training camp, Mario Barrios powers through demanding rounds, fine-tuning his punch sequences while tightening up his defensive footwork and head movement.
Y'all are gonna see why I'm the champion in the first place. This is like the kind of thing that you dream of as a young fighter.
Each workout showcases their commitment and mental sharpness, with steady effort driving them closer to being fully prepared for the night of the fight.
Don't be daddy. Don't be daddy.
Ryan continues to project assurance about the outcome, emphasizing his trust in the work he's put in, his concentration throughout camp, and his readiness to perform at a commanding level when it matters most.
He'll be fighting against the current. High tide, mother. Get out the water. And I ain't no lifeguard, so you ain't gonna.
During the workout, Ryan dedicates time to polishing his lead hand and dialing in the speed and power behind his signature left hook.
I see it. Good.
Even with the unexpected development of his previous coach joining Mario Barrios' team, Ryan Garcia shows no signs of being shaken. He stays mentally locked in, displaying strong composure and resilience while blocking out any outside noise. Inside the gym, he treats every workout with intention and structure, fully committed to sharpening his abilities and keeping himself in top physical shape.
Look at my lips. Oh, he already know. This is about to be a, oh, it's gonna be bad, because I know all that. I know what he's training like, I know everything. You know, they could say, like, oh, he knows, but he didn't train with me long enough. I know, been knowing Joe since I was 17. I know exactly, and I haven't trained with them. I just watched him, so I know exactly how he trains his fighter, exactly what they're doing. So to me, it was like, oh, thank God you gave me an advantage. Like, it's just another advantage for me. And, you know, word leaks, things leak, you know. Joe was a part of that. I don't want to get too into it, but, you know. Just,
you think Joe was leaking stuff out of you?
I don't know. I didn't say that. Allegedly. I don't know. I have no clue.
Mario, a lot of trainers in boxing. Why'd you go with the one that used to train Ryan Garcia?
I mean, it was like, I'm in like a position with these next.
Ryan moves through each drill with precision, covering everything from quickness and reaction work to defensive adjustments and sharp, forceful punch sequences. He makes sure every element of his skill set receives attention. Mentally, he stays steady, choosing discipline and composure instead of reacting emotionally. Although there's extra intensity, knowing a former coach is now in his opponent's corner, he turns that situation into added drive rather than allowing it to disrupt his focus. That ability to stay composed, paired with structured and detail-oriented preparation, reinforces his reputation as one of the sport's most locked-in and thoroughly ready competitors.
Joe, it had nothing to do with Ryan. Like that was gonna happen regardless whether this fight was made or not. It's just kind of coincidence that it just happened to happen next.
You think it was a coincidence?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I think it was. I don't think it was more like, I don't think it was like, hey, I'm gonna do this to try to throw him off. I'll be real. I think it was a missed chess move. I don't think it was a good chess move, but we'll see. You know?
Why don't you think it was a good chess
I just don't think it's a good fit for him. I don't. I think, you know, Bob was cool. I fucked with Bob. You know, Bob was a good trainer. So we'll see. We'll see though. Maybe he can prove me wrong. Shit, we'll see, right? That's the whole point of this.
How's the fit then?
It's been good. I mean, I stayed, you know, I came out here to LA, worked with Joe for a week in November.
Analyst Wade Plemons offered a thoughtful perspective on the intricate dynamics between fighters and their coaches, pointing out how the influence each has on the other is often underestimated. He noted that in-ring success rarely stems from just one element. Instead, it emerges from a collaborative relationship where both the coach and fighter drive progress. While a coach brings expertise in technique, strategy, and experience, a fighter's commitment, flexibility, and hard work play an equally important role in shaping the direction of that partnership. Plemons highlighted that certain athletes naturally challenge their coaches, prompting them to adjust strategies, refine methods, and evolve training to meet new demands. At the same time, skilled mentors can unlock hidden potential in fighters, helping them reach performance levels they might not achieve on their own.
That's on them.
In boxing combat sports, is it a coach that makes the fighter or the fighter that makes the coach? Now, Joe Goosen has a track record of being a high-level boxing coach. We know. But do coaches change for fighters, or do they implement what they know to fighters and fighters change for coaches? Because this will be the crux of what happens here. Can Joe Goosen, not to call Mario Barrios old, but can he teach an old dog new tricks? Can he give him something that Bob Santos hasn't? Sure. Can he give him more info about what Ryan likes to do? Absolutely. But will it be enough to prepare him for what Ryan knows that Joe knows? And how Joe trains fighters, and how Joe runs a camp, and how rigid he might be. And even that last part, Ryan's talking about information leaking maybe from Joe, or that Joe was leaking information about Barrios, or about, I'm not sure who he was talking about, Ryan, about Barrios, but Ryan, again, seems confident that he knows exactly what they want to do, and maybe even knows what's going on in Barrios' camp, which again, does that really mean a lot? Who knows? But again, what makes
this reciprocal influence fosters an environment where growth arises from shared dedication instead of one-sided direction. Plemons also pointed out that watching how fighters and coaches interact can offer valuable insights into an athlete's focus, self-discipline, and mental toughness. In the end, he emphasized that reaching championship-level performance relies on this equilibrium, where guidance and personal determination combine, allowing both the fighter and the coach to push each other higher through trust, effort, and common goals.
Guys, Bill Haney was saying his son was going to kill Ryan. It was crazy. But, you know, in the Rolly fight, everything was super laid back. I was there at the press conference watching Ryan just kind of more be so, you know, locked in on Devin and maybe overlooking Rolly. He can't make that mistake here. And it doesn't look like he has. It doesn't look like he's overlooked Mario Barrios. He absolutely believes he's going to knock Mario Barrios out. And that kind of confidence is what you want to see. This is kind of the old Ryan. A little bit more, I would say, subdued, obviously, than the Devin Haney fight. But in his early career, he was a subdued guy. The trash talk started coming out more with the Gervonta Davis fight and even the Oscar Duarte fight. He was talking trash to Oscar De La Hoya. He was like, yo, you want him to win? Watch this. And again, as much as Barrios, I think, is the most gettable champion at 47 right now, he's still a dog.
Ryan Garcia's father and longtime mentor addressed the surprising turn of events involving Mario Barrios and veteran coach Joe Goosen. He described the situation as unusual, emphasizing how uncommon it is for a coach to shift alliances in this way. While Ryan fully owned his decisions, his father admitted the news initially caught him off guard, given Goosen's past of training fighters who eventually faced each other in the ring. He also reflected on the professional realities of boxing, pointing out that although such changes are rare, they demand careful management and strong emotional composure.
Like it's a big deal?
Well, not, I mean, it's, my son is the one that, you know, felt that way. I felt that way, that it was kind of a surprise at first, but then I recall Joe telling me that he did that in the past. He did that in the past where he would train a fighter, and then about 3-4 months later, he would fight against the guy, you know, who he trained. It was kind of weird. So I told Ryan about that. I said, you know what, he does those kind of things. I don't know why he did it against us, but maybe he wanted to get paid or something, but there's no advantage.
The discussion also highlighted how crucial trust and clear communication are within a fighter's support team, since choices like this can influence training, game plans, and mental focus. By providing his viewpoint, Ryan's father shed light on the obstacles athletes encounter beyond physical preparation, emphasizing the psychological and emotional factors that come with competitive boxing. He stressed that handling these moments with calmness and concentration is key to preserving performance and remaining dedicated to long-term success in the sport.
Training camp going, man. Like when you look at Ryan, and you look at all the other training camps, and you guys are back together, united again. How does this one fare upon all the others?
You know what? This is the best I've ever seen, and the best I've witnessed the way his condition is. I mean, it's just a work of art. I mean it, a work of art. This is something that everyone's going to be surprised. And like I said, he's up here, he's 100%. And when he's like that, ain't nobody going to beat him. There's no way. He won't let you. I won't let him, lose, but definitely he's on it. He's just like,
He's on a mission. I love it. I'm loving this training.
Mario Barrios and Coach Joe Goosent exhibit exceptional concentration and calm as they gear up for their fight against Ryan Garcia. Their training camp is organized with precision, leaving no detail unattended and reflecting a full awareness of the stakes involved. Goosent stresses that every chance to improve is being maximized, with steady effort in the gym directly impacting ring performance. Barrios matches this approach, displaying discipline and mental focus in every drill, sparring session, and tactical discussion.
Look back and count on him making the same mistakes he made in the last fight. I want to train Mario to face the best Ryan Garcia that he can possibly be.
Now, in your viewpoint, is it a mistake to jump around trainers as much? Does it hurt a guy? Does it help a guy?
Well, stability in boxing is a valued commodity. You know, especially if you're winning. You know, you don't fix it if it's not broken, right? But sometimes you can have a relationship with the trainer that, you know, just doesn't click for you, and you recognize that, and you may want to, you know, change.
Their training philosophy strikes a careful balance between intensity and control, making sure that preparation is comprehensive without ever feeling rushed or careless. The camp extends beyond physical conditioning, emphasizing tactical planning, defensive sharpness, and the ability to adapt, so Barrios can handle any scenario that comes up in the ring. Goosent's coaching expertise shows through in the structured, focused sessions, guiding Barrios with precise adjustments while keeping confidence and composure intact. Together, they form a cohesive team, blending knowledge, preparation, and mental toughness, cultivating a disciplined and strategically driven environment that addresses every aspect of readiness ahead of fight night.
Like, especially in, you know, today's age of boxing, you know, like I said, where people are very quick to write you off, you know, regardless, you know, if you got yourself into that position or not. Like I said, I got into that position, you know, by beating Ugas for the interim, and then I was elevated when Crawford moved up, and of course, me as a fighter, you know, like, nobody wants to be elevated as a champion, right? You always think about you winning the title, you know, against a champion, in whatever fashion, but you always imagine yourself, you know, beating the champion. But again, you know, that's just where, you know, boxing is today, and regardless, I'm still very proud of that position that I was able to get myself in. But yeah, you know, I'm looking.
Chris Algieri offered his insights on Ryan Garcia's upcoming bout, providing a straightforward look at both the sport and the business factors that influence it. He pointed out that, while some may question whether the matchup was fully earned on merit alone, situations like this are common in boxing, where timing, promotion, and market considerations can weigh just as heavily as in-ring performance. Algieri explained that from a professional standpoint, these choices make sense for the business. They attract attention, drive viewership, and generate revenue, all crucial for sustaining careers and events. He also noted that even though fans and media had been anticipating the fight for weeks, the official announcement now sharpens the spotlight, sparking discussion, analysis, and renewed excitement throughout the boxing world.
The biggest question marks in the game. Super talented guy, but sometimes does not show up. Rolly Romero. You know, people were talking about him walking through Rollies like it was nothing, and then he ends up taking a loss, getting dropped, and losing. So there's I don't know exactly who's going to win this fight, because that's when it comes to Ryan, any prediction you make, it can go completely the opposite way.
Yeah, he's an absolute wild card. He goes in there and drops Devin Haney numerous times. He's on Osterine. He's in the middle of a manic episode, and he looked
in
good
the club. He's in the club the week of the fight every night.
Is that true?
That's what I heard.
I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, I went back and watched some of the interviews I did that week with him at Gleason's gym. That guy it was scary. I mean, I never want to see a fighter like that again. He was going through some serious episodes.
Algieri emphasized that both fighters and their coaches need to adjust to these developments, focusing on mental readiness and strategic planning while keeping attention on their own performance instead of outside chatter. With the fight officially confirmed, anticipation shifts into concrete preparation, pushing both camps to step up training, fine-tune tactics, and approach the matchup with full professionalism. He highlighted that boxing blends sport and business, where opportunities can appear in different forms, requiring everyone involved to remain flexible and adaptable.
Lead up to the Rolly fight, where he was very reserved, very subdued, wasn't really promoting the fight, didn't look like he wanted to be there. Horrible performance. Somewhere in the middle, and I think that's what we're getting right now. He's doing a lot of streams. He's putting himself out there big time, and that way, it's interesting to see how fighters market themselves now in 2026. It's all streamers. We see Terrence Crawford on with Aiden Ross. We see Ryan Garcia doing all these streams now. Teofimo is linked up at Aiden Ross doing brand risk stuff. So when it comes to that, that's interesting. But in terms of Ryan in the ring, even Tyson Fury recently posted on his Instagram story, and he said, this is true star power. Ryan Garcia right back in a title shot off of a loss. True star power. And I was like, yeah, it's true. I mean, it is. It is what it is. And like you said, we're all going to watch. And that's like the part of...
That wraps up today's video. Be sure to stay tuned for what's coming next.